Good morning, Guardians. Briar Rabbit here. Today we've got a correction. In yesterday's video, I talked about how the locked loadouts were confirmed for hard mode raid in Destiny 2, and this turned out to be false. It was corrected on Twitter by Luke Smith. Luke Smith had this to say: raids in Destiny 2 don't have locked loadouts. We don't want this. I just got a midnight queue to drop. Let me quit to equip, and I'll rejoin. So this was basically reported on a website called PC Games N, and it was a misquote, basically. It was a false quote. Bungie was interviewed, and they were either misquoted or the interviewer didn't exactly understand what happened. Luke Smith came out on Twitter yesterday to confirm, in fact, the Destiny 2 raids don't have locked loadouts, which I think is pretty interesting, is sure to make a lot of people happy. I'll miss it a little bit, but I could definitely see from the reasoning in that quote, I just got a midnight queue to drop, let me quit to equip it, and I'll rejoin. That would be terrible. That would actually be terrible. So I can totally see why they've decided not to bring locked loadouts to the hard mode raid. But I also want to know, what is the midnight queue? So is this a new exotic weapon? Is this new exotic armor? Is it just a raid weapon? Who knows what this thing is? Apparently, it's going to be a drop from the hard mode raid, or from the raid in Destiny 2, and that's very interesting. Now, so a little bit more about locked loadouts. Now, we do know that they are going to be a thing in Destiny 2, so we can assume that they are definitely coming to the Nightfalls and possibly to Trials of Osiris. There's been a lot of speculation about them coming to Trials of Osiris, which I actually think would work quite well, because if you think about it, you load into a match for Trials of Osiris, you select your loadout, and then you can also see what your opposing team selected for a loadout. You play that match of Trials of Osiris with your loadouts, then you win your match or you lose your match, you get loot, and then you can switch that loot in and out based on your performance or based on what you want to do, and then you start a new match with your new loadout. So it actually would really work for Trials of Osiris. Again, we'll have to see. In Trials of Osiris, the difference is, like, you won't be able to switch your loot mid-match to react to how an enemy is playing, an enemy team is playing. So you'll have to overcome an enemy strategy with just tactics, as opposed to being able to swap out gear. If you got an enemy team that is just camping and sniping, and you don't have any snipers on your team, that could be really hard to overcome. So you'll have to figure that out with movement and with tactics, and not by just switching to snipers and trying to outsnipe them. So it could be really interesting. Again, that's not confirmed. It's not confirmed that Trials of Osiris is going to have locked loadouts. That's merely speculation. It does seem to be pretty well confirmed at this point that the Nightfall will have locked loadouts, whether that's as a random modifier on a week-to-week basis, or if that's just how Nightfalls are going to work in Destiny 2. We don't really know. Now, there is another piece of news that I wanted to talk about today, but this is less about Destiny 2 and more about the people that make it. So Rolling Stone actually interviewed Mark Noseworthy, and it's a pretty damn interesting article. I'm going to put a link down in the description of this video for anybody who'd like to check it out. There's not a ton of Destiny 2 information in this, so if you're looking just for like every tidbit of Destiny 2 news, probably not. But if you're just looking for an insight into the people that make Destiny and Destiny 2, this is actually really interesting. He talks a lot about growing up as a video game player, how he wasn't impressed by the Atari and ColecoVision, but when he first saw Nintendo, the NES, and Castlevania, it was really impactful, and how he really liked the systems where he could kill a monster to get loot, and you can see how that thread has been carried forward. He also talks a little bit about his kind of copacetic relationship with Luke Smith in the development of The Taken King and Destiny 2, which I find to be really interesting. So if you're interested in the development side of Destiny 2 and the people that make it and the personalities that go into it and how they've come to be who they are, it's actually a really great interview, and I highly recommend checking it out. So that's over at Rolling Stone. I will actually link it in the description below so you can check it out. But I did find it quite interesting. So, short video today. That's going to do it for this one. I do want to kind of tell you guys, we got something special coming to Twitch today. I'm going to be doing something really stupid and really fun. I don't want to spoil it right now because I want to allow you guys to see it for all of its stupidity when it's actually happening. But that'll be today at about 1 p.m. Eastern time. It might be a little bit late depending on how long it takes to render this video. But we'll see soon enough. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time.